All right, let's get it.
All right, Buff Nation, we back and we back with that big news. It finally dropped. The Buffs, Coach Prime, he finally gave us that D coordinator we've been looking for. All right, this is you guys, CT the Fan. I'm with T Cal International over there.
Yep, down in Mexico, man. Yeah. So before we even get to D coordinator, I'm gonna tell you how big Colorado is and the impact. I'm down here in Puerto Vallarta. There is, these little shops on the resort that have these different things. They had a bunch of NFL surfboards and stuff. They had one college surfboard, one. And you can guess, Colorado Buffaloes is the only one. No other colleges at all. That is how big the prime effect is.
That is
Crazy. Down in
wow.
Mexico,
That
I
is
had to cop this.
crazy.
The only college down here. So that was dope to see and shows, how
Prime
big
is
CU
international,
is.
baby. You see what Colorado, see what he did with
Absolutely.
Colorado? International. That's wow, bro.
But
That's
let's
wow.
get into this Robert Livingston hire. So
Well,
gonna pull it up here. So I saw this tweet yesterday and I shot you a message as soon as I saw it. So Ian Rappaport said Bengals secondary coach Robert Livingston is in Colorado today speaking with the Buffaloes. Coach Deion Sanders, and he's expected to be named their new defensive coordinator, Olu Anarumo disciple. He's an impressive young coach. So, one, I knew nothing about Robert Livingston at
so
all.
did the rest of America. We
Yeah,
learned.
knew nothing about him. I saw that they said he's, a discipline of Lou Anarumo. So I'm like, okay, cool. That means that he'll most likely be bringing that defense because it sounds like he's been mentored by that coach. So then I got to the film room, started doing a bunch of research on their defense, and I pulled clips and stuff like that. But I also have a cousin that played for the Bengals. So I hit him up and was like, hey, because he played at the Bengals while Robert Livingston was at the Bengals. So when I hit him up, he said, hey, Rob knows his stuff. He said he hasn't been in control of everything like he will be at Colorado. He said, so I don't know exactly how that will go. He said, but when he's been doing his drills and coaching, he said he knows how to get everybody in game mode and get the most out of a player. So that is great to hear from a
That's
coach.
high
I'm
praise.
I'm I'm surprised at the hire. I'm not surprised, however, that it was a secondary coach. And me and you were talking the other day. I told you, I said, hey, all the DCs are gone.
Right.
That were DC somewhere else. I said, we're not going to get DC. Coach Prime keeps saying it's coming from the NFL. It's going to have to be a position coach in the NFL. I
You did
mentioned
call
Al
it.
Harris to you
Yes, you did.
with the Cowboys, but we got another secondary coach, which, that's what Coach Prime's most comfortable with. He's a
Right.
DB. So being able to have a D coordinator with the DB mindset is really important. And another thing we talked about was why Coach Prime was waiting on getting this
Right.
coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like for what reason was it taking so long? And I said he has to find somebody that is going to be right for the personnel that they have on the team.
Right. Right.
That's going to be a really huge factor, is making sure we have somebody that knows how to use the personnel that we have and knows how to, put them in situations to win. Like my cousin said, he knows how to get the most out of players. And I know you got some stats from the past few years with the Bengals on how they did and how he coached all pro safety Jesse Bates and so forth.
Yeah, last year, they were number 8 in takeaways, But before we get into that, I just wanted to say this. It goes back to what you kind of said way back in the original video when you said, hey, Colorado's going to the Big 12. What did you tell me about the Big 12? What do they like to
They
do in the Big 12?
pass. They like
And
to
I said,
pass.
ah, this hire makes a lot of sense now because Colorado's strongest group is probably the defensive back, and you're going into a very pass happy conference. So,
Yep.
Coach Prime making chess moves.
Yeah, no, he's definitely making chess moves. And I think this is the perfect defense for the Big 12, the perfect defense for Colorado. So when I started reading about Lou Anarumo, because I didn't know much about him either, first I saw something I loved. And it was that they called him the mad scientist. They said he gets super exotic with his defenses. I was like, perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Then I read something I didn't like very much, was that he rushes 3 and drops 8 a lot. I'm like, come on, man. I hate when
Yeah.
D coordinators rush 3 and
And
drop
drop
8
8, right?
because I feel like you don't get enough pressure on the quarterback. If you're playing a really good quarterback, they're just going to sit back and dissect that.
Right.
However, there's a special way that he does this, and he mixes up the looks a lot and provides a lot of different pre-snap reads for the quarterbacks to look. And part of it is he'll put 7 guys at the line of scrimmage or 8 guys and then end up dropping them into different zones once the ball is hiked. So for a quarterback, it's basically a simulated pressure because you have all these people up at the line, but then once the play starts, then you're having to think. And
Right.
anytime you have to think, that allows more time for the 3 rushers, 4 rushers, however many, to get home and sack the quarterback. So,
I mean, it must work because you think, Trey Henderson, they had him and he definitely gets his sacks. So it must do some things.
yeah, and I got a lot of film on that. And like we talked about, we needed a D coordinator that was going to really fit the personnel that we had. And I think with them, he does, because it's almost like it's a bunch of interchangeable pieces.
Right.
So a lot of people can play different positions. You're going to have safeties lined up at linebacker. You might have a linebacker at safety. You're going to have safeties as an edge rusher, linebackers as edge rushers, just really making it interchangeable, which makes it hard on the offense because you can't just say, oh, that's a safety. I know he's either going to be dropping deep, playing the flat zone, or playing man coverage. Now you got to be like, hey, that safety might be blitzing through the A gap. He might be dropping from the A gap to a deep half. Like, there's just so many things you can do from it. And that's what I think is going to make this dangerous. And like you said, they've had a lot of turnovers when they were this
They
past
were
season
8th in the
with the
league. Yeah.
Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's huge. And he's coached Jesse Bates, who was an absolute dog. I mean, the rest of their secondary, they got Daxton Hill, who's been playing great. Jordan Battle had a fantastic season coming out of Alabama, as I believe this was his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like he's been able to develop some really good secondary players, and we need that.
Right, because he's going to do wonders for Shiloh, right? I mean, if he developed Jesse Bates, imagine what he's going to be able to do for Shiloh. And then
Shiloh,
and he has
Cormani,
this
everybody.
talent, and you got Travis Hunter on the other side. Imagine what that's going to be able to do. He's going to be able to do some different things. So he's going to be able to bring his own flavor in for sure. My only concern about the hire, because I told you in previous, is can he call plays?
Play
Because at
calling
the end of the
experience.
play, it's like, I was like, is he going to have? And then you were like, bro, look, it's probably going to be a position coach coming from the league. But you said, hey, I said, oh, okay. But is he going to be able to call plays? Put these
And
players in
he
the right
should
position.
be able to, because, as a DB coach or secondary coach in general, you get used to at least the way Lou Anarumo was calling plays.
Right.
Because in second down situations what he liked to put your guys in, third down situations, things like that. Now, the thing is, will he play more to that, or will he deviate from it? Because we looked up the stats and they didn't have the best defense this past season.
No, they didn't.
That could be because a number of factors. One, Joe Burrow getting hurt, having a backup quarterback in that's not getting as long of drives, so your defense is on the field more. There's a lot that contribute.
Right, there was
to stats.
And to be clear about that, it was mostly about the talent on the personnel side is why they were saying defense struggle, because they lost a lot of talent from the last 2 previous seasons. So and then without having Burrow,
because Jesse Bates was gone.
Exactly. So not having Burrow and everything like that just magnified it, right? But I don't think it has anything much to do with the scheme and the coaching. It was more talent and personnel. You just lost a lot. So I mean, but I think what's big and what people could take from it is, hey, that's his position as a defensive backs coach. I get 8th in the league in interceptions in the NFL. That's big, that's right? Big. And look at the talent he was developing. Like I said, he developed Jesse Bates. When you come to Colorado, you got Shiloh, Travis, Armani. So I think
don't forget Trevor Woods, Preston Hodge. I mean, there's guys.
And he's got a pass rush.
Yeah, exactly.
So that defensive line is going to help out a lot, right? And then, but it goes, like I said, it goes back to what you said originally. Colorado going into Big 12. You said, bro, Big 12, that's a passing lead.
They try to air it out.
And Coach Prime's going to say, if we're going in the passing league, then, it only makes sense. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I can't see what he brings to the table, and I can't wait to see how he develops these players because that's huge.
I agree. And for me, just from seeing the scheme, this is an A+ hire. Like this scheme
Wow.
is perfect for the personnel Colorado has and what we're trying to do. And y'all come to Buffton Prime for a reason. Y'all want to hear us talk football and things like that, but y'all want to actually see it. You want to see
They
the
want to see
breakdown.
it. They want you to take them to
So
school. Let's go to school.
that is what we got for you. So I clipped up a whole bunch of clips of them versus the Chiefs and Texans, so you can see what type of defensive scheme they run and why it's going to be successful in Colorado this year.
And they're running against two of the most prolific passes in the NFL right now.
Absolutely. So right here, this is a play that is cover one robber. So in the cover one robber, we have man coverage on every player. However, we have this player who is called, you can call him a robber, you can call him a rat, low hole rat, high hole rat. Basically, his job is to sit in this zone, read the quarterback. And any crossing routes, he has the ability to rob them. So you guys remember what happened against Colorado State when we had those crossers that were killing us?
Yes.
And it surprised me because I know the specific play we had in that playbook, in Charles Kelly's playbook, called 1Y, which is made to eliminate those with a low hole rat, that any crosser comes, that linebacker just takes over the crosser, and then the person guarding that crossing route now becomes the new robber. So it's a match coverage where it's called cutting where you got cut from. So if I have a mesh route that comes across, somebody else is going to cut my guy, meaning overtake him. Then once my guy gets took, now I look to take someone else's guy. So it just keeps playing like that. So let's take a look at this cover one robber play and see how this plays out. So a couple things to notice right here. We're going to go back a little on this. So we have robber right here. And what you're going to see is he sees that crossing route right there. So he's going to sit in that window.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So he keeps coming. It's going to be a pick. Now, he stopped the route short. So he ended up taking that away, which is why Patrick Mahomes went to the check down. But something that's also different about this is that this linebacker right here has Pacheco in man coverage. However, if Pacheco blocks, then he becomes an extra robber. So then you get two robbers. And in some defenses, they do like a green dog blitz where if your guy blocks, you add on as a blitzer. But what I've seen mostly from this defense is if your guy blocks, then you get to go add on as a robber. So you'll see it here. First, it looks like he's blocking. That's why he's sitting there. He's not blitzing, not going after him. He's waiting.
Okay.
He's looking to rob this route first. And then once he sees him release, okay, got to go get him. So then he runs, tracks him down. It's a bigger game than you'd like to see there, but that's how it's supposed to play out.
That goes back to that personnel.
Exactly. So now we get a combo coverage versus mesh. Looks like this guy's in man coverage. However, all of these are made to take over these crossing routes, mesh routes. Again, back to Colorado State, we got killed on these. This helps prevent that. So you can see what the offense is running right there. Then we have the combo coverage. So it's a zone match scheme where these three are covering these three. This player right here has the first to the flat, and then he has the deepest out of the three. Anything that goes inside, he's going to continue to pass it on through. And then he has man coverage. However, when he gets cut, meaning somebody overtakes his crossing route, then he gets to become a robber as well. So we'll see how this plays out. So right here, he takes the first to the flat. He takes the deepest, and his guy starts going through. No need to chase him because he's going to another defender and another defender. Now, what you would like to see right here is this player take over 17 right here. So then 20 can fall off. But 20 stayed with him a little bit longer until he realized he was going to the next zone. Now he stops, turns back to the quarterback because he's now going to become one of the robbers. So we have the flat covered, we have the corner route covered, and then we have everyone sitting in these zones just waiting to rob one of the crossing routes.
And look at that defensive end come off that edge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, got the
I
sack. You
think
see
that's
it?
was that Hendrickson? No,
Look
it
at him.
wasn't.
No, it's not interesting. Look at him come off that edge.
Oh yeah, he went and got him. And you
Yeah, he would have
see
got him.
Mahomes didn't know where to go with the ball.
That's right.
Because he has these guys right here and they're sitting, but he's covered. There's a guy right here. He's right here. There's nowhere to go with the ball. And he comes up, gets a sack. That's a coverage sack right there. So then we go to another one. We have another cover one robber. So we got smash concept right here, which is number one receiver running a hitch, and then you get a corner route by the number two receiver. We have an over route by this number two receiver to the strength, and then we have a post route. And we're going to see how this cover one ends up playing it. It's another cover one robber. So we're man here, man here. He's man here, man here, man here. And then this is the cover one part where he's just the only safety over the top. And right here, we have the robber. But if his guy blocks, he would also be able to be a robber. So let's see how this plays out. So right here, we got that over route coming. That's exactly where Mahomes is looking, but we got the robber right there. So he can't get that.
Yeah, I can see him. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
We got the post covered here. He's waiting to see if the running back's going to release or not. He's covered there, and we're covered down everywhere. So they know what the Chiefs like in that situation. And I'm sure it was a part of the game plan. Hey, if they're on this near hash and we have Travis to the boundary, they're going to try to get him on a corner and have the over from across the field.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, they play it perfectly. He robs that. And it's incomplete pass. Okay, now this is where they really start to get exotic and it gets real spicy. So we have a cover three hybrid coverage, and everyone's lined up in the A gap. So you see how everybody's lined up. We got third, and then everyone else has to disperse. We're only rushing 4 on this play, and it's this guy, here, and there. Now, when you're showing this type of pressure, your guys aren't going to be able to get to their zones quickly. So for these corners, usually in cover 3, you're just going deep and splitting your 2 threats, but they have to be slow because the ball's going to come out quick. Anytime you get something like this, whether it's a blitz or not, there's gaps. Like we have 3 receivers right here, and this one is wide open if you wanted to on the seam. So you have to play a lot tighter coverage. And we'll see how this one plays out, which I love, showing you the 4 coming. So all those guys at the line of scrimmage drop instantly. And then even if he caught the ball, it's a 4-yard gain. And it really could have ended up being an interception, but he doesn't want to play too aggressive on that because he has 2 threats there. So he's trying to allow time for these 4 guys to be able to get out to their zones.
Right. Okay, that's
as you can see, we got linemen, we got everybody standing up, which this could be Shiloh, this could be Slusher, this could be Trevor Woods, this could be Preston Hodge. Like, this is where you can get really exotic with your defenses, especially when you know it's a pass down. Hey, let me get 2 DBs blitzing from the outside. Let me get 2 of my best edge rushers, and let's stack DBs inside here or my more athletic linebackers and really give them something to think about. And you can see how it plays out.
So that gives us something to think about because, I mean, this defense is going against Mahomes,
Yeah,
Mahomes,
exactly.
right? So, like, when you start thinking about the Big 12 quarterbacks,
Oh, they're not going to have a chance. Not going to have a chance. So
you hear that, Buff Nation?
So we have this one, cover 3 match versus spacing. I love the way these players are coached to handle this. So what they're looking for right here with the spacing concept is they don't want to throw this at all. That's not made to throw. What this is when he's going out, they want the zone to expand out so that you can hit this slant right here and create a window. So that's really what they're trying to get. Now, if they don't expand, then you have a wide open flat route because he can get out leveraged. And this corner route is mainly to run people off. So watch how the defense plays this in this zone. So right here, this is going to end up being in his zone. However, he doesn't just automatically take off to go there, because if he did, you see that's a wide open slant because this linebacker can't get to that right now, and he would be out leveraged here. So instead, he's holding that, and now it gives time for the linebacker to get here. He can still make that play, and then the corner route is going to run into them right here. See how they pass it off, and then
Yeah,
they end up
man. You can
matching
see
with the
the
route.
passing off. That's wow.
And another thing that allows is for your rush to get home, as we can see right there. So here we go. Cover zero. And this cover zero is crazy because he's man here, he's man here, he's man here, he's man here. Third down, the reason they're blitzing so many is because they know they have to get to these sticks. So they have to get the ball out extremely quick. So he's sitting in the house. So you see everybody going for the blitz.
Yeah.
And they get stopped a little short, but he ends up getting the first down. The reason he got the first down is this is a mistake you cannot make anytime you're doing cover zero. They're blitzing 7 people. Somebody has to get home and win for the sack. This DB right here, when you're playing the sticks, I'd have him a little bit tighter, but you cannot back up at all because the ball has to come out quick. First thing he does is he takes that little back for no reason, and that is going to give more space for when he catches the ball. So he catches the ball, and now he gets the first down. He doesn't back up. He makes the tackle a lot sooner. So little things there. And you can see here, sometimes they line up like we saw earlier with the double A gap, and then they got out of it. But here, nah, they sent them all. Now this is where it gets great. When you got outside linebackers and DNs that can really go get it, the stunt game is amazing. So check this out. So let me go back just so I can explain this. So what the stunts are is basically you're setting pick and rolls for your defensive lineman. He's going to set a pick right here, allow Hendrickson to come all the way through the A gap to provide pressure. And then he set another pick here to let him come all the way outside. So we got 2 stunts on both sides, and watch how this plays out. So you see him get home scot-free because of a great pick set right there. And then he gets home, gets some homes for a great sack. Now, this is all of these are coming off these mugs where they have 7 at the line of scrimmage. So we saw where we just had cover zero, where everybody is up there. It's blitz coverage. You're playing the sticks. Now what they added is between these 2 linebackers, it's Logan Wilson, another linebacker, probably Jermaine Pratt. Whichever one gets blocked by the D lineman, he then doesn't rush the quarterback anymore, and it's going to go back and pop and try to rob a pass. And we'll see how it plays out right here. So watch this. He gets blocked, drops back, misses a pick. Right to him.
Right.
And you'll be able to see how it plays from the other angle. So these 2, one's going to get blocked. The other one is going to be able to come scot-free on the blitz. So we're coming. They're both going to kind of start. And you'll see how it plays out. So they're both coming. He's going to get blocked. So gets blocked. Stroud thinks this is wide open.
There it is.
As soon as he goes to it, Logan Wilson's right there. Drops the pick. But a great play and something that is confusing NFL quarterbacks. So like you said, you can only imagine what it's going to do to Big 12 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Now I want to show you a couple clips from the run game, or a clip from the run game. You can see Jordan Battle, safety. He's lined up like a linebacker. They use their DBs and linebacker safeties interchangeable, which is great. This is how you play against the run. You're going to see him trigger to get back here as soon as he reads run. He gets blocked from the outside, which means the corner is called crack replace. He tries to crack your guy. That means you have to take his place and shoot out the edge. You're going to see exactly how they play that here. Just great defense. You see he triggers, gets blocked, and the cornerback goes and fills it for a tackle for a loss. And he's a big safety. I'd love to see Trevor Woods in this type of defense. He goes to crack him, gets replaced, still comes back and makes the tackle. And then here we got more stunt games. He's going to stunt from all the way over here,
That's
come all the
wild.
way back through the A gap and get home. And these, with the right personnel, is going to make that much difference for us as far as rushing the quarterback, our pass defense, being able to do things that will help us succeed in the Big 12. You'll be able to see this from the other angle. Trey Hendrickson wreaked havoc with stunts. Like, I didn't have time to show all the clips I wanted to, but he was wreaking havoc. You see him out here, pop back in for the stunt, get home.
Sounds like BJ Green might have a year store for him, huh?
So that's who I was thinking of. BJ Green would be great for that position that he plays. Now, this is another one. This was crazy. So I think this is the last clip. It's cover one, but they have two rats here. So we're playing it against empty. And they didn't quite play it the right way, but I'm going to show you how it should have played out. So we got these two guys dropping back to become the rats. Everyone with their hand on the ground is blitzing. So what I'd like to see right here is him. He should take over this receiver. So then that would allow 20 to sit right here and wait for the crosser from the other side. Same thing right here. I would like to see him take over this crosser right now and then zone off. And you'll see how it plays out. Because if they zone off right there, it makes this so much easier. So now 20 is not having to run from backside. And then this corner is chasing here. There's no need to chase when you have this zone. He should have been able to sit back here. He should have overtaken, and this guy should have overtaken him. So then he could have came and robbed that. Would have worked out brilliantly. And you see he ended up coming and overtaking that. But those are the things that we have in this defense where we're going to be able to get really exotic. We're going to be able to make plays. We're going to be able to put different players in situations. I'm so excited to see what the DBs look like coming up. Trevor Woods has to be on the field.
Let me ask you this. So is Shiloh going to be the Jesse Bates of the defense? Who's going to sit there in the back like that? That's that single high safety, because he's sitting there. He's back
Shiloh. Yeah, Shiloh is probably going to be the one back there. I don't know, because I don't like taking Shiloh out of the run game. I feel like that is where he's at his best a lot of times in the run game. So that could be Cameron Silman Craig. That could be Max Slusher back there as well. I'm not sure who has the most range out of them, but in this type of defense, that's what you want in the back, is whatever safety has the most range.
Right.
And then I would love to see Shiloh in that Jordan Battle role where he's coming in the box more. I'd love to see Trevor Woods. I mean, I think Trevor Woods could turn out to be a guy that's playing safety, rushing the edge a lot because he's fast and huge, and also being in the linebacker position. The personnel we have fits this defense perfectly.
Oh, so okay. So you said it's a perfect match then. Like Coach Prime hit it out the park.
Yeah, I think he did. I think this is something that utilizes the guys we have on roster the best. Last year, even though I love Charles Kelly's defense, love the Saban tree, we didn't have the right personnel to run that at its best, especially when it comes to man coverage. We struggled playing man outside of Travis, and that's what you need for that defense to succeed. This one, it's playing basic defense as far as dropping 8 and rushing 3, but the looks that they give you pre-snap, the disguises, that's what really is going to give people issues. And the fact that we can use interchangeable players, they can't say, oh, this is the middle linebacker. We know what he's doing.
Right,
they're like, hey, I don't know who's going to be the dropper. I don't know who's going to be doing this, who's going to be doing that, because you just get a bunch of hybrids along the line. It's like, man, I don't know what's happening. So I do think we're going to have to tighten up on the run game with this defense.
Because that was my next concern. Like, how's this defense going to stack up with the run game? But I guess it's going to be kind of, since we got pretty much a whole new defense with a whole new defensive players, and you're going into Big 12. And I mean, do they really run the ball in the Big 12? I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, but probably not effectively.
But Coach Prime kept his receipts, and he kept that Colorado State receipt with them damn crossing routes. And he said, I got something for it.
That's not going to happen again. If it doesn't happen this time, then it's solely because of the player execution. But the way that they run this defense, and we'll break more plays down
Mhm.
as we go, and then hopefully we'll be able to see some film from spring ball as well. But I think this was a great hire by Coach Prime. I think this is a guy who was a hot name in NFL circles as far as an up and comer. He's young,
Mhm.
would probably be looking to get the Bengals D coordinator job in the next few years had he stayed. But the way it's set up, I think he's going to have a hell of a time in Colorado, and I think he's going to wreak havoc on the Big 12. I'm so excited to see what our defense does. The Quincy Wiggins, like you said, BJ Green.
Yeah,
This is
that's what I said.
perfect.
Just BJ
And that
Green.
Trey, oh my gosh. I think he's going to have an amazing year in that Trey Hendricks role.
Well, yeah, because we're gonna be out. We're gonna be excited because, like I said, to me, it started in the trenches.
Mhm.
You get that pass rush going, but you got me excited. I mean, I'm after watching the film and things like that. I'm like, okay, this might
Yeah.
be the guy. Like Coach
He was
Ryan,
unknown to me too.
right?
Bro, I had no idea. I know
He
y'all
was
watched it.
unknown
Y'all
to
didn't have no
America.
idea.
Ain't
Yeah, I know
nobody know
y'all had
about
no
him but in
idea.
Cincinnati. Let's
But
not kid, right?
hopefully, from watching this video, being able to get more insight, you guys can get a lot more excited about this hire. Like I said, from what I've seen and from the personnel I know, I think this is going to be a great fit for Colorado. I think this is going to be a team that you see extremely improved on defense.
Mm.
And I need him there now because I need the players getting into that playbook. I need them being able to see and practice these disguises right now, because that's the hardest part is, hey, I'm lined up in the A gap, but I know I got to get to that number 2 receiver out all the way out there, being able to get comfortable with that.
Let me ask you, who you expect to have the best offense in the Big 12 next season?
I mean, are you talking about outside of Colorado or?
No, I'm talking about who you.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
Colorado, right?
yeah, Colorado for sure. But like you always say, iron sharpens iron.
That's my
This is going to
point.
make Shador better as well.
Yes.
The game I thought Shador was the slowest to start was Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
We started really slow versus Nebraska when they were rushing 3 and dropping 8. And they weren't even disguised the way this defense is disguised.
Mm-hmm.
So I think him being able to see a defense like that, an NFL defense, and be able to get better and better against that every day, I think that's just going to make the entire team that much better.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think that's going to be the upgrade, right? Like just being able to see that every day, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and like, these guys are going to bring it. I mean, we saw how intense these practices has been getting.
Yeah.
So they're going to bring it. And I'm sure there is side, you get an offensive line, but most important, I'm going to keep saying this, Buff Nation, we got to establish that run, because if we get that run going, there ain't going to be no rush 3 drop 8.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, you rush 3 drop 8 if you want. You're gonna get a whole lot of out McCaskill coming your way,
and Dylan Edwards coming right up the A gap.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, I'm very excited about the season. I think Coach Prime definitely hit it out the park. I knew it because when I went back and thought, I was like, oh, bro, did say Big 12 love the pass, so it does make sense to go get that defensive back. So I'm excited to see what he does. Welcome to Colorado, by the way, Coach.
Right. Yes. Yeah. We're excited about you. We're going to be releasing some more videos on the D coordinator, and we're going to talk about in our next videos the biggest winners that at Colorado from this, because there's certain position groups that should be just grinning from ear to ear, knowing that this is their hire. So we're going to break down what that means for each position group, and we're going to get more content out for y'all. If you guys have liked the show, make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe
on all your platforms.
We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So you guys help keep pushing our content out. We appreciate y'all, and you will be hearing from us very soon.
Buff Nation. See you later.